This is problem number 36 from the June 2017 Algebra Regents exam. Michael has $10 in his savings account. It says option 1 will add $100 to his account each week. Option 2 will double the amount in his account at the end of each week. So we need to write a function in terms of x to model each option. We actually have two different types of equations or functions occurring here. Option 1 is a linear equation. It's going to keep increasing at $100 each week. So that one, let's call it f of x. And we know he starts with $10, plus we're going to add $100 for every week that passes. And so that's going to be our variable x. So for example, after 1 week, you would do 10 plus 100 times 1. The next week, you do 10 plus 100 times 2, and so on. So each week, it's increasing by 100. Now, option number 2, we'll call that g of x, is not a linear equation. This one's exponential because it's doubling at the end of each week. So if you were to visualize it, it would be an exponential growth, something like that. So in this case, it's going to be start with $10, and then we're going to multiply it by 2 to the power of x. And by doing that, you can think, so in the first week, you would do 10 times 2 to the power of 1, which would be 20, right? And then it would double again. The next time, you would take 2 squared, which is 4. See how it doubled, and you times it by 10. And then the third week, you'd be 2 to the power of 3, which is 8. So you can see that that's doubling each time, right? It goes 2, 4, 8, 16, and so on. Each time multiplying by 10, because that's the initial amount. Another way to kind of picture it in your head is that the first week you would do 10 times 2, and then you would do, the next week would be 10 times 4, and then 10 times 8, 10 times 16. So you can see how it's doubling each week. Anyway, that's it for the first part of the question. Now, part 2 says Michael wants to have at least $700 in his account at the end of 7 weeks. We need to find out which options will enable him to reach his goal. So let's go ahead and see if this works for f of x. So we're going to see how much money he'll have earned after 7 weeks. So that means we're going to replace x with the number 7. So 10 plus 100 times 7 is, in fact, $710. So that's good. He did earn enough. Now let's check g of x. So we would take 10, multiply it by 2 to the power of 7. And that gets us quite a bit more, 1,280. So clearly, he also made enough money in that case. And I suppose for an explanation, so we could say both will enable him to reach his goal. And you could say because he saved over $700 in both cases. I think that's a good explanation. That would suffice. And that's all for this video. Hope that was helpful, and thanks for visiting JD's Regents Preparation.